Hello, this is Omar and I hope you're having a great week. Today I'll show you how to make this shadow box card featuring Pantone's color of the year, Ultraviolet. This card has a lot of detail and 4 layers that can be used separately if you want to. It folds flat so you can mail it, and it also comes with the envelope SVG file so you can make a special envelope for this card. First of all, you know I like to prep my die cuts, and I like to get rid of all those sticky points that you get when you cut them on your cutting machine. Here you can see some of those sticky points and some jagged edges, especially on the very small corners. So what you do is you use an A and B plate and an embossing mat, and then your die cut and a B plate on top. You run it through your die cut machine and everything gets flattened out. And you get a nice die cut, a steel die cut look on your machine die cuts. Repeat the same process with all of your layers. The balloons, the leaves, the glasses, and also for the background. Make sure you get rid of all the pieces that might have not come off the background. The finished card is 5.5 by 4.25 inches when it's opened, and 5.5 by 5 inches when it's closed flat. Even though the file has small cutting lines that will guide you where to fold, I like to use my scoring board to mark those folds so you fold the card in the right places. I went off a little bit, but it really doesn't matter. Do the same with all your fold lines. Score them using your scoring board. You can also use a cutting mat, a self-healing cutting mat, and the back of a cutting knife. Score all your folds and do the same on your layers. Mark both sides following the small lines, and also work on your envelope. The envelope can be cut from a single 12 by 12 piece of paper. I used very thin colored paper. And when you're done scoring your lines, fold the crease the folds and use a bone folder. This will be your card base, and work all the folds. Now for all your layers, also fold the gluing tabs. Sometimes it helps if you fold them one way and then turn it over and fold it the other way. This way your folds will work better when you flatten the card and put it to work. Once you've done that, start gluing your frame, your front frame, and your front layer. I used a strong adhesive. The card base is cut from a Nina pearlescent cardstock. It's a 65-pound cardstock, and it's very shimmery, and sometimes it doesn't hold well some liquid glues. You could also use some tape, but I would not recommend it because the liquid glue strengthens the cardstock and makes it harder, and this way the card will work better once it's assembled. Next, glue your frame and the front. This is just to cover the card base so everything looks white in the front and you only have a purple background. You can use an acrylic block to hold it in place and wait a couple of seconds or a couple of minutes for it to dry. And then start gluing your layers. Your first layer is the glasses. Apply glue on the gluing tab. Remove any excess glue that you might have. Align the edge of the gluing tab with the edge of the front layer, with the layer that has the leaves on it. Hold it in place. Remember, you can always use an acrylic block so it doesn't move. Now fold it over, fold the crease. I decided to place the acrylic block a little longer. Now apply some glue on the gluing tab of the second layer. This is the balloon layer. I always like to use textured cardstock, so make sure your texture is facing front. And glue your gluing tab next to the first layer that you just glued. Fold it over and place your acrylic block to hold it in place for a couple of minutes. Finally, glue the last of the layers. This is the Happy New Year layer. Apply glue to the tab, and please notice that this tab is folded to the back of the card base. So align that edge to the back fold of the card base. Glue it in place, and you can place again your acrylic block on top of it to hold it. Let it dry for a couple of minutes. And now start working on the folds so your card works properly. Fold the creases the other way. Apply some glue to the opposite gluing tab of the first layer. And fold the right side of your card on top. You can use the acrylic block to hold it in place also. Keep working on the folds with your bone folder. This is a good idea to keep everything straight. Work also the folds on the side. Start working with your fingers and then use your bone folder if you need to. Be careful with those little leaves. I did that twice. And then start gluing your second layer and your third layer. Apply some glue to the gluing tab. Slip it under the card side. Make sure it's aligned to the first layer and give it a good press. Now glue the last layer. Remember to fold the gluing tab to the back. Apply glue to it. And glue it to the other side. Once everything is glued in place, make sure your card folds correctly in both ways, and that every layer is evenly separated. Now train the back fold. Apply glue to the gluing tab of the card base and close your card flat. You can use a bone folder on both sides to flatten everything out. You can work the folds the other way also if you want to. And you can use an acrylic block if you want to to keep it flat. Make sure no inside pieces are clinging to each other or getting in the way of the card moving properly. If your card doesn't fold correctly, just work it a little bit more with your bone folder. Now assemble your envelope. This is very easy. Using your ATG gun, apply some double-sided tape to the gluing tabs and close it shut. I like to use my bone folder on the sides to kind of like smooth out those small cut lines that help you fold the sides of the envelope. And there you go, the card and the envelope. It's a great idea to put light in the back of it if you're going to display your card. That way you'll get layers on top of layers. That's very cool. Here you can see the shining, the shine on the cardstock. Here you can see the shine on the cardstock. I just love this pearlescent Nina cardstock. All the materials I used are linked on the video description below if you want to go ahead and get some of them. Here you can see how it folds flat so you can mail the card in an envelope. And that's it. No inking, no complex gluing. It's a very easy card that you can give away to your friends or use as decorations for these holidays. Don't forget to visit the blog where you can download the file to make this card, and I hope you like this project and give it a try. All the products I used are linked in the video description below, and here are a couple more videos that you could be interested in, and I hope they inspire you to create something amazing today. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great week. Merry Christmas. Bye bye.